I was familiar with his work. I didn't realize that that was the same person. I'm a reader of The New Yorker, and I had seen a number of his covers, and I had heard of Shortcomings in passing because it is sort of a title that's thrown around a lot in the Asian American community. But once I got the opportunity to audition, realized, hey, this sounds like this, all the pieces started to connect, and I was like, wow, it's the same guy, and you know, devoured the graphic novel in a couple of hours and fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of the same. I'm so shocked I didn't know about his work, which just speaks to how it should have been circulated so many years ago. But when I got handed the script and I had read that it was a lot of Japanese American younger characters, I was so in shock, and I was so touched because there hasn't really been, you know, strong, flawed, messy characters, especially of that community, which is, I'm fourth generation JA, so it's very important to me, and his work is so stunning and was really groundbreaking to see.
Yeah, I didn't get into the graphic novel until I was deeper into this process, and I was just blown away at how ahead of its time it is, you know, because the film isn't too much different from the book, which just, you know, reflects how overdue these stories are, but also timeless. So, yeah, just really excited for people to see this modern classic piece, Shortcomings. You know?
Yeah. What did you sort of latch onto about your characters? What did you relate to?
Oh my gosh.
Well, for me, I love how many, I love the overlap between me and Alice. The queerness, the Asianness, and just like the loudness, the kind of recklessness almost, you know, the obnoxiousness. You know what I mean? And, you know, and also the unapologeticness, you know, and of course she's flawed, she's imperfect, but she kind of owns it and she wants to do better for herself, and we kind of see that evolution within the film. So I think it's really special and very relatable. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben is such a complex three-dimensional character, and it's not a type of role that I've often seen for myself or gotten to play. So it was such a joy and honor to be able to bring this person to life and to show his many layers and nuances and contradictions. I think that's something that exists in all of us, and it feels like for most of my career they wanted us to play one thing, and to play people who are so complex and contradictory in many ways was so exciting.
Yeah, same. I think, well, first of all, working with all of these amazing humans is truly a dream, and I think 5-10 years ago it would have been sort of this pipe dream of like, wouldn't it be so cool to work with your friends and your community, and that was not even possible. So I think just working together and playing Miko, who, I mean, all of the characters are so flawed and messy, and we have real three-dimensional arcs, which I think is rare to find in a piece, and for all the characters to have that is just incredible. I mean, it's really a dream for all of us.
I don't know, I was on Miko's set a lot. Like,
Thank you. I know. A lot of the things that I said, I was like, I would say this in real life, and I know a lot of people who would say what Ben says, and it's infuriating and complicated. And
everyone has valid points in the movie.
They were on a break. No.
Classic. They were on a break situation.
I mean, for me, one of the reasons why the work resonated with me so much was because I saw a little bit of myself in all of the characters, you know, and it felt just so real to me, you know, and familiar, and to see these incredible actors bring them to life, like it just was so special.
Justin, did you feel any extra pressure knowing that Randall, like, at one point wanted to be Ben?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, this was in 2007.
I found this out through the course of some of these interviews, and I was like, he would have made an incredible Ben. But
no way, not like Justin.
No. But because he was so familiar with the work and so familiar with the character, I mean, we could talk about the character all day because he had such a familiarity and such a personal connection to the story, and that's why he was such an incredible director to work with. He's just so passionate about this project and these people, and we wanted to do the novel and Adrian justice.
And to build upon Randall as a director, he just has this like stunning quality of being able to allow us to play on set and improv and kind of make the character our own and feel confident about that, but also knowing exactly what your vision is and never straying from that. And I think that's just, we just respect him so much. As a person and a director.
100%. There was just trust both ways here, you know, and that's like crucial when it comes to director-actor relationships. So yeah.
How did you choose your cameo?
Oh.
That was not supposed to happen. Yeah. Okay. It was. I mean, it's a long story, but the information in that section was supposed to be in another scene. We were, because of COVID-related things, we were running really late that day in the other scene, and we couldn't get it covered. So the next day, we were like, oh, we need that bit of information. Where can we put it in another scene? And we tried to get that actor back because she was so great. Shout out to Melanie. But it was just happening, independent film. Everything is happening so fast, and it was like, oh, okay, we could put it in this scene. We could put that information in this scene. Who can we get? And
he was a veil. Yeah.
Honestly though, it was one of the most fun days.
Oh my
I was like, oh right, I forgot. You're such a hilarious actor.
Yeah, he is.
He's been our director this entire
comedic
time.
mastermind.
One of the best comedians.
And she doesn't break because she's also hilarious. But that day, she just kept laughing.
Because I kept throwing things at Randall, and he threw it back, and I just started laughing. I remember at a point, well, it's no secret what the scene is, I guess. I don't know, but I said something like, is the cheese on this cheeseburger real cheese? Immediately he goes, no, it's government cheese. And just broke every single time. Could not keep a straight face. And what a dream to just like be opposite you in a scene. Come on, you know? So
what a full circle moment.
100%.
That's so fun. I've already made Randall talk about this, but obviously the film opens with, a very thinly veiled reference to this debate over Crazy Rich Asians, and I wondered if you guys could just talk about, setting the movie up that way and just sort of that internal debate.
We were so excited to have that scene because we've all had those conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, there are Asian Americans who loved Crazy Rich Asians and a lot of Asian Americans who hated it. But at the time when it came out, because it was such an important, significant moment for us, a lot of these people who might not have, vibed with it weren't really able to talk about it openly. So it was really great to sort of highlight some of the people in our community who didn't enjoy the movie, and I think that's perfectly valid and fine because now we have so many stories out there that we don't have to just love every single movie or concept or story just because it's Asian American, that we can sort of pick and choose what we like and what we don't.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it was the first of its kind, and Crazy Rich Asians kind of lifted the glass ceiling for our community as a whole, I think, in so many ways of just making us think in elevated ways of how can I tell my story, how can we tell different types of stories. So for that, I think we'll always be forever grateful, and I think a film like this would not exist without films like that kind of open the door.
100%.
Very Miko response.
Yeah. Well, how about this?
I work at the film festival, so
that was direct line from the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
She's
my
still
lines
off.
in the movie.
This is a live performance of Shortcomings. But yeah, I do want to say that, well, first of all, I loved Crazy Rich Asians. Absolutely obsessed. But just in general, it's not even just about that film. It's about all the big films that have succeeded in the mainstream, that have allowed us to tell this kind of story, and starting the movie with that kind of like big picture thing, and then going just like microscopically into the slice of life, opinionated, dynamic, I think is really fun. I think it's more of a symbolic thing versus like a pointed, reference, I think.
And every friend I've talked to from other traditionally underrepresented groups have the same exact conversation about projects that come out when there's scarcity of narrative. It's like, oh, we all have to support this, and it's good to support it, but because there's only one, it's like there's such a burden to represent everybody, and I think a movie like ours, it's about the margins of the margins in some ways, and there's different, it's a complex community. Nothing's monolithic.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, we all have different
Yeah.
opinions, different tastes, and different ways of seeing the world, and I think that's what excites me so much about this story. There's an authenticity to it and a specificity to it that that makes it different.
Yeah.